guys, welcome to the creative room. All right, today we are going to learn how to draft a balloon sleeve, how to do a balloon sleeve using the slash and spread method. That's what we're going to be learning today. Let's get started. Okay, as you already see, I have my basic sleeve here. This is my basic sleeve. Okay, so it has been drafted, and that's what we're going to be using. And if you don't know how we arrived at this, it's very simple. I'm going to drop the link in the description box of where you can watch how to draft your basic sleeve. So it's just very simple. Just check it out and boom, you're there. All right, so here is the center line, as in for those of us that already watched it, this is it. So what I just did was just to open it, so I have my full sleeve. Then I drew out the center line, because when making this balloon sleeve, I'm going to be making use of the center line. That was why I drew it out, so that it can be easy to see. Okay, now what do we do next? Like I said, we're going to be using the slash and spread method. Okay, the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to create slash lines. There are things we call slash lines. So I'm going to be creating slash lines on this, because we are going to be cutting along those lines. Alright, so your slash lines can be 1 inches or 1 inch, sorry, or 1.5 inch, depending on how you want it, and depending on how big your sleeve is. For me, my sleeve is just 2, and the length of the sleeve I'm using here is just 10 inches. By the time I had my band, it's going to be about 11 or 11.5 inches. So I have 10 inches there. You could do a long sleeve, you could do 3/4, you could do this is my half sleeve now. Is not a short sleeve, it's half at my elbow. Then you could do 3/4, you could do full sleeve, depending on what you want. So for me, this is the length I'm working with, which is 10 inches. Alright, so now that we have this, we are going to be drawing our slash line. So I'm going to do 1 inch apart. That's the first 1 inch. I'm going to put another 1 inch here, another 1 inch here, another one here, then I'm going to stop. Then I'll come to this side as well and repeat the same thing. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and that will be it. So the next thing we want to do is to connect these lines. We just take it off. So from the down part here, I'm going to be taking it up like so. So draw up, up, and up. Then we stop. Then I'll come to this other side. So like I said, you can do 1.5 inches. So for me, I'm using 1. All right. So here is what I have. Okay, so that will be all. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to slash these lines. Okay, but before I start slashing, I'm going to get another paper. I already have a paper here, so I'm going to get another paper ready. Now this paper, there's something I'm going to do with it. As you can see the other side, I already drew my center line. So I'll go ahead and fold this paper into 2 to get the midpoint of the paper. That's the middle of the paper. Alright, so now that I've done that, I'll open it. I just put it to the center like this. So I've got my midpoint. Then I'm going to get my ruler and draw. Okay, so now I have this. Now you see what this is going to be used for now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to cut. I'm going to start from the midpoint. I'm going to slash. Alright. So slash the tip. You don't like to cut. So here is my midpoint. This is why I drew this line. So you can just, you might not get to the very tip or the very beginning of the paper. You can just leave about half an inch like this. Just come to this point. On this line running down, just mark half of an inch, that's 0.5. Then you place your paper there. So as you can see, my midpoint is matching with the midpoint of the new paper I got. So now that we have this, you can just going to tip it down. Alright, so I'm going to tip it down like so. Alright, so now that I have this, the next thing I want to do is you determine what you want to spread with. You understand? You could spread by 2 to, depending on how big you want your balloon sleeve to be. You know, some people just want it moderate, while some want it very big, while some just want it small and other. But don't forget, it's a balloon sleeve, so it's not meant to be too small, because if it's too small, it's not going to bring out the effect you want. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do now, because I have a lot of flash lines on mine, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 flash lines on mine. So I'm going to be spreading by 1 inch each. Remember, you are going to be spreading equally. So you can't spread this by 1 and you're coming in to spread this by 2 or this by 3 or whatever. So it has to be equal. So the first thing I want to do is to come from this midpoint and this midline. I'm going to come, okay, from this midline. Since I'm spreading by 1 inch each, so I'm going to mark 1 to this side, and I'm going to mark 1 inch to this side. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to, alright, let me make it closer, like it's 2 down. Okay, 1 here, 1 here. Okay, so just like this. Alright, so just tip it down at this point. Okay, so this is the 1 inch for this side. I'm going to also tip it down. Now you could slash all your lines at once. Like I didn't slash mine once, you can just slash yours once. It's not a problem. Okay, so just make sure you slash the very tip. Let me hold this down. Slash the very tip so that it doesn't disturb. Okay, so like I said, you can just go ahead and do the whole flash. Alright, so so I just did it. So I'm going to continue my thread. Okay, the next one, I'm going to spread by 1 inch as well. Then I'm going to place this and then I'll tape it down. Alright, so let's tape it down here. I'm going to also tape it down here. Alright. Okay, so the next one, so you keep going on and on until you're done. The next one is 1 inch as well. So I'll also take it down. I'll arrange it first. So we'll take it down. And then come here and take it down. Okay? Now the next one as well, 1 inch. Like so. Taking it down. Then the next one, 1 inch as well. 1 inch. And I'm also going to take it down. I'm taking it down. Okay? Okay, so at the last part here, at the last part here, that's the end of it. You're going to just add 1 inch at the last part here. That's the side. When you connect from that point to this point, from that point, you connect to this point, like so. Alright? Alright, so whatever you did here, you're going to repeat the same thing for this side. Okay? So I'm going to slash open. Alright, okay. So you repeat the same thing all over again. So 1 inch this side. Mark another 1 inch. Then another 1 inch. Okay, then 1 inch again. Okay. Alright. So don't forget, we added 1 inch to the back here. So you're going to repeat the same thing for this. So you come to this part and you mark 1 inch, then you connect to those points. Okay? So this is what we have. So as you can see, like I said earlier when we started, you could spread yours by 1.5, even 2 inches, depending on how big you want it to be. This is just how I want mine to be, and that is why I did this. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is to connect this down part. So you just connect them like so. Just be careful. So those to make points that has nothing in it, they just connect. Okay. Okay, so that is that for that. So you also come up here as well and connect. So you can use your core, you can also use your hand, because for this you're just drawing around what you already have. You're just drawing around what you already have. So this is it. So now I'm going to remove this. That's the hold one. I'm going to remove it. If you're using a tape, make sure you remove it very carefully. Don't bend up. Same with the paper. It's on removing because I need to draw my line correctly, and then I don't need it anymore. So for this, I'm done with it. Alright? So all I need to do now is to do my connection. So at this point, you could just connect with your core, so you have a very smooth line. Okay. So connect like so. So then for the down part as well, do your connection as well. Okay, so this is just it. So if you want yours to be bigger than this, you are free. Okay, so I'm going to cut it out. Now this is the front armhole, and this is the back armhole, as you can see. I'm going to cut out this. Okay, so this is what So to differentiate the front from the back, you can just put a notch, a mark at the back to indicate that this is the back of the sleeve. Okay. All right. Now the question is, how do we finish the hem? Now for the hem, you can just pleat. You know, you can pleat, you can gather, depends on whatever you want. But whatever you're doing, like for me now, my sleeve, the length of my sleeve is going to be on my elbow. My sleeve is going to be, is this the length? So if I want to get it, I'm using a band for it. So I'm going to measure round my elbow this way. I'm going to measure this way. Now what I have here is 9 inches. If yours is a long sleeve, you are going to measure around your wrist. If yours is 3/4 as well, you measure around that part. And if it's short, you measure your arm gaps as well. Okay? So now that I have 9 here, what do I have to do? I'll just get a paper. I could just do half so that by the time I gather. Okay? Okay, if I'm using 1 inch band, so I'm going to be cutting 1.5 so that I can use the 1/2 inch as my seam allowance. And if you sew with 1/4, you can also use 1.25. So I'm going to be cutting that. Okay, by 9 inches. Don't forget, I measured 9. So yours might not be up to that, or might be more than that. Okay, so let me see if I have my 9 inches. I'm just trying to show you how to do this. Okay, this is my 9 inches. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting this out. Don't forget, if you sew with 1/4, you can use 1.25. But if you sew that, if you want 1 inch band, some people might want more than 1 inch band. If you want 1.5 inch or 1.5 inches, then go ahead and add your seam allowance after achieving it. Okay, so this is what I have as my band. Okay, take for instance, you are eating or you gather or whatever. So whatever you are doing, at the end of the day, now I'm trying to do a sleeve and fitting it. Just want you to have a rough sketch of what you are going to get at the end of the day. Okay? So this is it. So if you sleeve, then your band comes after. Okay? And what I'm trying to say. By the time you finish pleating or gathering or whatever, you have your band sleeve, then you have your balloon sleeve. It's going to be full. Okay, so this is just it. So if you want yours fuller than this, like you want it bigger than this, then you increase your spread. As in, you increase your spread, or you're spreading with, I used 1 inch, you can start to use 1.5 or 2 inches. Okay, so that will be all sew-it. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you do, please let me know in the comment section. And if you're joining this class for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next class. Thank you very much. Bye.